All right, so I had a phone conversation with my friend about a day or so ago about how crappy the news is on the television channels here in Austin. And it's not really the news in general, it's the freaking traffic reports. They always say, well, we've got a pile up at so and so road at so and so time every single time. I would appreciate if they would just be honest with us and say, hey, guess what? The reason we have a traffic jam on the road and the reason we have accidents on the road is because everybody left their house at the exact same freaking time, trying to get to work at the exact same freaking time. Well, I wonder why we've got traffic on the road. Because everybody's going home at the same freaking time. It has nothing to do with the size of the roads on the traffic. It has nothing to do with the way the traffic lights are programmed. It's because everybody's leaving to work and leaving from work at the exact same freaking time. And the worst part about it is if there is an accident on the road, it cuts off the entire city. If there's an accident on the northbound side of I-35, everyone on the southbound side is going to stop to slow down and look. Or the opposite. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's I-35. It can be freaking Mopac, 183, Loop 1. Maybe it's across the entire world. But whenever there's an accident on the road, everybody just has this natural curiosity to stop and look. I would appreciate it if our newscasters would probably be a little more suggestive to their employers on television, saying, hey, I think it would be a great idea if you would stop making your employees come into work at the same frickin' time. That way, we can stop saying the same mundane thing every single morning and every single afternoon. I think people would really enjoy watching the news more if they didn't hear the same thing all the time. I think it's a valid point. I don't like the idea of everybody coming to work at the same time. I don't like the idea of being stuck in traffic. I'm pretty sure everyone's experienced this, where you're stuck in one lane, the other lane's going, you switch over to that lane because it's going. By the time you get there, it stops, and then the other lane starts going. So, if it were up to me, we would have flying cars right now. Maybe even helicopters or jetpacks. Knowing my luck that if I was flying to work with a jetpack, some idiot in a jetpack would probably run into me and hit me. Or even worse, maybe I might get hit by a bird or something. Who knows? Maybe I even might get kidnapped by an eagle one day going to work. And then all of a sudden there's an Amber Alert out for me because I got kidnapped by a freaking eagle. And then all of a sudden we're going to have to change our national emblem from the eagle to a chicken. I don't know, because we just now found out that eagles are evil because they kidnap people on jetpacks. I mean, we could widen up the roads, but then we'd be evicting people from their homes and getting rid of gas stations and getting rid of parking lots. Maybe we can come up with some suggestions, maybe even talk to city council. I think we should probably do away with all these trains in downtown. I like how they tried to sell this stuff back when they were first promoting trains being put in downtown Austin. They said, well, it worked very well in the 1920s. That's because there were no freaking cars then. Oh, well, we'll go ahead and ease up congestion by allowing bikers to have their own free lane that they don't have to pay taxes on, that they don't have to pay for a registration sticker or a license plate or insurance to drive their freaking $300 bike on. And so that right there is taking up another lane of traffic right there. Quite honestly, that's why I think the sidewalks were invented for. If you're going to be riding a freaking bike, I think you should be on the sidewalk. I don't think you should be out in the road taking up my driving space, or for that matter, anybody else's driving space. I think the worst traffic jam I've ever been in has been in New York. When you can park your car, walk across to the local McDonald's, and come back to your car and only move 10 inches, I mean, we haven't experienced that yet here in Austin, but we're getting pretty freaking close. So maybe if we can come up with some reasonable solutions, I don't know, maybe sleep in an hour late or something. Maybe if we made it a law to keep people from going to work at the last minute. We've got all kinds of things we could do. So if you got input, if you got ideas, by all means, send them to me. I'm quite interested. I'm pretty sure you're interested too. Or maybe you just wanted to watch the video for sheer entertainment.